Hey everyone, what is going on? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be looking at a game that has been somewhat hiding in the shadows of another huge racing game. The Crew series wasn't really a huge hit with its first release, but the second game has been drawing attention to itself quite quickly. I'm going to go through what makes this game good and some factors that aren't so great. Enjoy the video. Starting off with a massive point for me personally, we have a third person view in this game. Combined with the amazing new character models that they just added, this makes the game incredible straight off the bat. Yes, it is only when in certain areas, but I think that just adds to the realism of real life a bit more and gives you the chance to get up close and personal to some of the cars that you can display in your garage and your hangar and your harbour. Graphics in this game are also relatively good for a game of this price, and I think that just adds even more to the factor of realism in this game. The engine sounds in this game are very good and are varied across different cars. I think that unlike some other racing games, Ubisoft have decided not just to reuse the same engine sounds for most cars, which makes the game just that little bit more satisfying. However, it is here when you start driving that the first issue for me personally comes up. I drive mostly with a wheel, and wheel support in this game is barely even there. Yes, you can drive with it, but there is next to no force feedback even with that setting fully maxed out. Also, there is a nitro feature in the game that you can't use when using a wheel. I find this feature a bit annoying, as there are definitely some times in races when you need to use this, and even if you do, you just can't. For most people though, with a controller, this will be just fine for you. The gameplay is smooth and not laggy, and the handling in general is okay. It's not on the level of racing sims or even Forza Horizon 4, but it is manageable. There is an absolutely huge variation of vehicles in the Crew 2, which is one of the factors that separates it from games like Forza. There are motorbikes, boats, monster trucks, and even planes. There are categories which are street racing, pro racing, off-road racing and freestyle. And inside those categories there are subcategories to do with those races, and it just adds a huge amount of variation. It enables you to get deeper into the world of racing than even some simulators do. Once you have found the categories that you like, you can work at them one at a time, or even just do a bit of drag racing here, a bit of drift there. The choice you have as a player is incredible. It also helps you to get around the huge map. It's an almost one-to-one scale of the whole of North America, and it's just stunning to drive around. There are also a lot of small details in this game that just slightly improve the experience you have as a player. You can do proper burnouts, wheelies, donuts, but drifting is a bit more difficult unless you have a proper Drift Edition built car. There are loads of different races with all different vehicles, and this makes the game really interesting to play. I promise you, you won't get bored, even after 4 or 5 weeks of continuous gameplay. There are also a huge number of car manufacturers involved in the making of this game. However, in-game currency is a bit questionable. There are some long races that can get you a decent amount of cash that you can grind, but normal races aren't really going to get you to the level of buying that brand new Koenigsegg Hesco very quickly. I would recommend saving up for a good pro racing touring car and then doing those races, as they are probably the most fun and earn some decent money. Something that has impressed me recently is how quickly the developers will add newly announced cars to the game. There are some iconic cars missing though, like the old and new models of the Toyota Supra. Last week they added the 2020 Koenigsegg Hesco, and slightly before that the Bugatti Divo. And this sent the community wild, as I do believe it is the first game with this certain Koenigsegg in it. Another slightly negative thing though, this game wants your money, and I mean real money. There are a lot of purchasable items for vanity, and there are microtransactions that allow you to get the big bucks if you're one of those people who are made of it. and this will help you progress in the game a lot faster. I personally have never seen the need for buying an in-game currency if you can just earn it instead, but I suppose that depends on what kind of person you are. Car customization in this game is also quite good, with lots of different colours, upgrades, body modifications and other upgrades you can do to make your car look mean. However, some of these vanity parts do cost a second currency, which you can get by doing daily challenges or buying it from the shop. This is also an online game, which means you can play with your friends, and there is a PvP feature. I personally have never tried it, so I won't give my opinion on it. But it seems like a relatively good idea, especially in a racing game as in-depth as this. Overall, I think that if you're looking for a good racing game but you don't want to spend more than £20 or $25 US, I can definitely recommend this to you. However, if you don't mind spending a bit more, then there are definitely some slightly better alternatives out there. If this video helped you, or you just found it interesting and don't really give one about what I'm talking about, a sub would be massively appreciated. Stay home, stay safe, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.